Hello everyone, you're welcome to solve this nice trigonometry math problem, which is 9 raised to the power of sine squared x plus 9 to the power of cos squared x. This is equal to 6. So what are the values of x? That is, remember the value of x here. These are the angles between ranging from 0 all the way to 360 degrees. So let's provide a solution from here. Now we can express 9 raised to the power of sine squared x. This is the same thing as 3 raised to the power of 2, then raised to the power of sine squared x, then plus 3 to the power of 2 raised to the power of cos squared x. This is equal to 6. Now the next step is that 3 to the power of 2 raised to the power of sine squared x and 3 to the power of 2 raised to the power of cos squared x. This is in the form of a to the power of n raised to the power of m, which can be expressed as a to the power of n times m. Applying this exponent property, then we have 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x plus 3 raised to the power of 2 cos squared x. This is equal to 6. The next step, let's apply the trigonometric identity, which states that sine squared x plus cos squared x, this is equal to 1. So this implies that cos squared x, this is equal to 1 minus sine squared x. So let's substitute cos squared x with 1 minus sine squared x. So this is 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x plus 3 raised to the power of 2 into the parentheses. We have 1 minus sine squared x cross the parentheses. This is equal to 6. The next step is that we have 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x plus 3 raised to the power of, let's open the parentheses here, 2 times 1, this is 2, minus 2 times sine squared x, this is 2 sine squared x, this is equal to 6. We have that 3 to the power of 2 minus 2 sine squared x, this is in the form of a to the power of n minus m, which you can express as a to the power of n divided by a to the power of m. Applying this exponent property, then we have 3 to the power of 2 sine squared x, then plus 3 to the power of 2 divided by 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x. This is equal to 6. Now, since we have 3 to the power of 2 sine squared x here and 3 to the power of 2 sine squared x, we can let 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x be equal to u. Let's substitute u so that we have u plus 3 squared, which is 9 over u. This is equal to 6. So since u is a whole number and 6 is a whole number, so the LCM is u. So let's multiply everything here by u. So we have u to the power of 2 plus 9. This is equal to 6u. Let's take 6u on the left hand side. So we have u squared minus 6u plus 9. This is equal to 0. So we have that this is a quadratic equation. Now remember, we can express this as u to the power of 2 minus 2 times 3 times u, then plus 3 to the power of 2, which is the same thing as 9. This is equal to 0. Now this is in the form of a to the power of 2 plus b to the power of 2 minus 2ab, which we can express as a subtract b raised to the power of 2. Applying this algebraic identity, then here we have u subtract 3 raised to the power of 2. This is equal to 0. So this implies that here we introduce square root on both sides. We have square root of u minus 3 to the power of 2. this is equal to square root of 0, and this implies that we have u subtract 3, this is equal to 0. So we have u minus 3, this is equal to 0, so this means that u is equal to 3. Now if you recall, we have seen that we let 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x be equal to u. So let's substitute u with 3. So we have 3 raised to the power of 2 sine squared x. This is equal to 3 raised to the power of 1. And since the bases are common here, that is a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m. Since the bases are common, exponent n should be equal to m. Applying this property, then we have 2 sine squared x, this is equal to 1. So let's divide both signs by 2, and this implies that sine squared x, this is equal to half. Now, so for sine x here, let's introduce a square root on both sides. We have the square root of sine squared x. This is equal to plus or minus the square root of 1 over 2. So here we eliminate the square root sign. We have sine x. This is equal to plus or minus. This is the same thing as 1 over square root of 2. Now, here we can rationalize the denominator here. Let's multiply the square root of 2 here and the numerator with square root of 2. So this means sine x, this is equal to plus or minus. We have root 2 here, square root of 2 divided by square root of 2 times square root of 2. This is the same thing as 2. So we have sine x is equal to square root of 2 over 2, or sine x is equal to negative square root of 2 divided by 2. Now the next step is we can have a graphical representation. Let's have the x and y plane here. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. Now, so here we have, this is 1, 0. Then we have a negative 1, 0. It's a unit circle here. Then we have 0, negative 1. Then here we have 0, 1. Now in this case, we have that sine x, this is equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. Now in our case here, we have sine x, which is square root of 2 over 2. This means these are the positive angles of x. Then sine x equal to negative square root over 2. This means that now these are the angles that falls the below x y plane. The angles that are below the x y plane, these are the ones we have as sine x equal to negative square root of 2 over 2. So here we have the opposite is square root of 2 over 2. Then hypotenuse is 1. So we have an angle here, and this is equal to 45 degrees. So we have an angle of 45 degrees, which is equivalent. We can express this in radii. Radians, this is pi over 4. So this is the angle here. We have sine x is equal to square root over 2. So we are saying that x is equal to 45 degrees. X is equal to 45 degrees. Again, we have in the second quadrant A, we still have another positive angle of sine. 180 degrees. We have 180 degrees subtract 45 degrees. This means we have 135 degrees. So here we have 135 degrees, which is the same thing as 3 pi in terms of radians. This is 3 pi over 4. So we have the second angle here, which is 135 degrees. This is in the second quadrant. In the third quadrant, we also have another angle here from 0 to this angle here. This is 180 degrees plus 45 degrees, and this means we have 225 degrees. So here we have 225 degrees. In terms of radii, this is 5 pi over 4. 5 pi over 4. So this is 225 degrees. In the fourth quadrant A, we have another angle from 0 degrees to this angle here. This is the same thing as 360 degrees. 360 subtract 45 degrees. This is 315 degrees. So we have 315 degrees, which is equivalent to 7 pi over 4. So this means we have an angle of 315 degrees. So these are the angles for x. These are the angles for x. So kindly follow the steps. Like this video. Follow the steps. Like this video. And kindly subscribe. If you have alternative solution method, kindly showcase in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye bye for now.